I had a conversation with a friend today about getting triggered in relationships, and it's absolutely normal. You are going to get triggered in your relationship. I'm going to link below a YouTube video by Terry Wheel, who is one of the nation's topmost couples experts. I guess he charges $800 an hour, and he does has a relational life therapy type of model, which is about getting right to the inner wounds and helping people become aware of responding from their adult self rather than their child self. Apparently, he has saved 99.9% of all the marriages that have come to him, and people have to spend a lot of money to see him over 2 or 3 day time period. So they're usually like quite desperate when they get to him. So I've really enjoyed his videos, but what I want to say is that everybody gets triggered, okay? And he talks about 3 ways that you get triggered. You can either fight, there we have the angry pursuer, often that's the woman, I think. And then we have the person who flees, who stonewalls, it's often the guy, that's his way of reacting. And then we have the fixer, which is another way of reacting. If I can just fix everything, I can make it okay. And so relationships are really an opportunity for us to see our inner wounds, because if it weren't for your partner, you would be just fine sitting around at home, nobody bothers you. But it is important to be in relationship with people who are willing to do the work, who want to lean in, and who also want to work on their reactivity. Else you're just going to end up, it's not a sustainable situation. So be easy on yourself, realize that you get triggered. And this is exactly why it's so important to have a very strong attraction to your partner. Do not judge yourself for what you want and desire, what turns you on, because a relationship is a crucible. And to stand the test of time and the rigorous work, and for you to want to do that stuff, you have to really want that person, desire that person. It's like that's why God made children so cute, because that's why we give up so much of our resource and our time and our love to these little beings who are so demanding and ungrateful, because they're cute. We have to find our partners attractive to want to do all that work. So yeah. And that's why relationships start out with this high sexual energy and you want to fuck all the time, because you're building that bond. You have to have that kind of chemistry, I think, to want to do the work. Else you can end up in a relationship where you're just roommates, or you actually hate each other. You're just together for the finances, or because out of comfort or convenience or fear. But in order to really enjoy your relationship, it's so important to be a person committed to your growth, committed to working on your stuff, and to being with someone who wants the same thing. Personally, I will never ever again date anyone who doesn't want to do the work and who doesn't want to lean in. And there are all kinds of people all the time. Like right now, I'm on a dating app and I had a video call scheduled for yesterday. I actually got dressed up for it because I want to show up. Like, I'm responsible for how I show up. I'm not responsible for if these guys show up for the call, what they say, how they show up, or anything like that. I'm responsible for how I show up. And then I get to decide if I want to be with this person or not. And the beginning of the dating cycle is a time to see if we even want to be with these people. If we even, like I'm deciding on the video call, do I even want to go out with this person? But anywhere along the line in the early months, it's perfect. We are in a like interview mode. Do I really want to be with this person? Does this person lean in? Does this person care how I feel? Does this person take responsibility for their stuff? That's super important to me now. And so in this video call yesterday, I had a gentleman who was a no-show. And, I'm not going to be one of those people that discards people. We had a nice conversation. So my way of taking responsibility was like, hey, I was here, I guess something must have come up for you, maybe too many irons in the fire. However, this is just a really bad start. So please unmatch me after you see this, because I was on Tinder. And because I could have just been like, fuck you, or I could have been just like unmatched him. But I don't want to, that's one thing that I don't like about how people show up on some of these dating apps, um, is that it's so, or hooking up, you just see people as objects that are disposable. And I don't want to treat people that way. So, even being on a dating app, dealing with people not showing up or being a disappointment, those are all opportunities to heal wounds, to be present with our feelings, and to, just see if we even want to be with this person. Um, like I put on my Tinder profile, I just updated it, is how we show up on Tinder is how we show up in relationship. Are we responsive? Do we treat people with care, or do we just callously discard them? Are we kind? Do we keep our appointments? Like on eHarmony, I've had every guy show up for the video call. So I don't know if the guys on Tinder are a little bit more relaxed. So, it's just an interesting study right now. But I'm very grateful that I'm single and that I am overcome enough of my triggers that I can hang out on these dating apps and deal with the stuff that's coming at me, because there's a lot of stuff. It's so easy to get triggered in these dating situations or in relationships. So I have a lot of opportunities to work on myself just by being on here and just being responsible for how I show up. And yes, early on, as weeding people out, there are a lot of people that we come across that we're not that excited about, that don't show up or are disappointing, more than when you know someone and you already know this person is committed to working things out with you. But then the problems get even more difficult because it gets into your deeper wounds, your abandonment wounds, your fear of being abandoned, your fear of being controlled. Those are the two main ones. And I made a video yesterday about, if you tend to go for emotionally unavailable people, it might not be that you like the unavailable people. It could be that you don't like the people who are too available because they feel like they could be controlling you or smothering you or fusing with you. And so, whatever comes up for you in relationship is like such a great opportunity to heal and work on yourself. And that's the great gift they offer us. Thank you for watching my video.